Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite synths, and that's the Make Noise shared system. I bought this about 3 years ago today. I've done a few modifications, but it's more or less kind of the standard stock Make Noise shared system. So I'm going to go through all the different modules and talk about what they each do, and yeah, go from there. So, like I said, I consider this to be like a synth, a complete synth that I all use in the package together, but it is really just a whole bunch of different modules. So each one of these boxes is actually its own little machine that does its own thing. So you can take these out and you can switch them around and move them around. And inside this box, they're only connected to the power source. So there's nothing internally connected from any of these modules. So all of the connection has to happen through these patch points here. And that's how you get the sounds. So let's talk about each module individually. Start over here, and this is the maths. It's what we call a utility module. Basically what this does is it regulates the signal on how fast it goes up or how fast it goes down, and regulates the signal of how much it goes up and how much it goes down. Depending on how you put things into the inputs and how you change these knobs, you can get it to do all types of different things. The most basic use that I found myself going to a lot is just a basic envelope, where you can just put an input or a gate or a trigger into it and then adjust the envelope settings. This one here is the Mod Mix, which is an amp. It actually can modulate from, it's a 2-channel amp, and the first channel can modulate and do things to the second channel, and it also has an auxiliary input. So you can use it as an amp that your envelope goes into to give an envelope shape to whatever signal you're putting into it, but you can also use it to do interesting modulations between these two, and you can kind of use it as a mixer as well. This is the DPO, which is a sound generator. This is a dual oscillator. So you have 2 independent oscillators that can both be pitched from the 1 volt per octave individually. And these can of course do FM modulation and sounds. You can also use this follow knob to kind of link these 2 oscillators in different ways. Oscillator 1 has a bunch of different parameters to where you can use it as a link or even an LFO. This final output uses this kind of wavetable here, where you get different ways to shape the wave. And I use the fold parameter for the envelope of that arpeggiated pattern. Over here is the Optimix, which is another amp mixer type situation, similar to the Mod Mix, but these dual amps don't actually affect each other. Here we got the Echophone, fancy delay. The second knob, which is changing the depth of how that the pitch or whatever you want to modulate changes as the delay is going on. As you're listening to later, I use this to actually add another layer of the arpeggio. fancy reverb with a lot of different parameters to change the sound of it, and also size, reverse. Each of these kind of gives it really neat texture, which you can obviously modulate. Very cool reverb. Let's go down here, and we have the Wogglebug, which is a very interesting, also kind of utility module. I use this as my master clock for that entire patch, or the entire patch you're listening now. With the Wogglebug, you get 3 different sections. Here's like a noise audio section, this is a random voltage section, and this is a clock section. This is the Q-Pass, which is the filter that I've been using. It's a new addition. This is one of the things that I used, that I changed on the shared system, so this is a new addition to it. But you get 4 different peaks that you can actually radiate in like further apart from each other with these different knobs. You can get like really interesting chordal sounds even out of a single oscillator. Going on to the pressure points, this is an interesting module that you can use to, you can touch with your hands to interact with whatever you're playing. The more of your skin that is on this copper, the more voltage goes out of the pressure outputs. But if you add this module here, which is the brains, you can actually clock this. And then when you clock it to whatever clock you're using, this actually becomes a sequencer. And so as you clock it, you get whatever voltage parameter you put into these knobs will actually come out of this. So like whatever voltage you have here will come out there like that. And you can get 3 different voltages for each beat of the clock. This is the Renee sequencer, where you can program in different note values and different gate values for each of these parameters. When you clock it, you can clock either the X pattern or the Y pattern. And this is the sequencer, and it goes through the sequence, and you can actually, as the sequence is going, you can change these knobs and get a different pitch based on what pitch you selected in this this bank here. And then, so you hear in this patch that I played when I'm playing with this walkthrough. I just changed a few of these parameters, or a few of these pitch knobs, to give it a little bit of a melody, especially at the beginning, and actually build the melody as the piece goes on. here at the Tel Harmonic. This is another sound generator based on the Tel Harmonium, back one of the first electronic instruments ever made. And this one sends out like chordal pads based on where your tone knob is and what chord or theory setting you have. So you get the chord and the degree and the interval setting for each chord, and then you can use this centroid to actually bring out harmonic peaks throughout the chord and give it a different texture. And here in the middle we have the CV bus. This is essentially just a buff mult. You get 5 different mults, so whatever you put into one of these, then is going to whatever signal you go here will then be duplicated in every output. So if you put a signal into number 1, then that signal is going to come out of all the other number 1s. So if you put a signal into number 4, that's going to come out of all the other number 4s. And also you can use it if you want to kind of combine signals. So if you want to put 3 signals into number 4 and then have it come out 1, it'll actually work that way as well. Alright, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel and remember to comment and hit that like button. And I'll see you guys in the next video. All the best.